CrossFit. What started as a fitness fad has amassed into a worldwide frenzy. Take a look into these Welsh CrossFit athletes preparing for the up-and-coming European Championship 2022.
My name's Emily Barrow, I'm doing the female intermediate. I train at the UFit Container, trained here probably for about 8 years now. It's not always been affiliated CrossFit, but they've just affiliated in the last year, which has been really, really good. And I train under the puzzle programme. When I first moved to Cardiff about 10 years ago, I had lots of horses. I've always been very outdoorsy, very athletic. CrossFit is just a way to keep me really active, get lots of variety in my training and stay nice and fit. So this is my first individual European Championships. Sort of an accidental qualification, so I'd be happy with any placement. I'm really pleased to be going. I'm looking forward to completing as much as I can and finding out where my benchmarks are and just getting nice and fit for training going forwards. My strongest attribute, anything that's lungy, anything that's gassy, so I'm good on the ergs, good on the bodyweight movements, and I'm keen on the gymnastics.
My name is Joe Brill, I'm an intermediate category. First got into CrossFit I think about 4 years ago when I was like 21, 22. It was just a few of us knew about it in uni. So we went to a local gym and instantly fell in love. It's just the coaches were great. The community itself was the main thing that we got really addicted to. And then yeah, skills start to progress. There's so many things you can sort of progress in, so that it hooks you straight away. And yeah, 4 years later, I'm still enjoying it. And yeah, sort of trying to get a bit more competitive now. We've been following puzzle programming on like a personal level. It's been progressive, sort of 6 week, 7 week blocks. And we're on our last 7 weeks now, I think, so a bit more intensity now. Hard work begins, 6 more weeks and we're there. I'm realistic, it's my first one. Qualifiers went really well, better than I thought they would, so I don't want that to give me sort of high expectations and things. You can get yourself built up, but I think I'm just gonna give it my best shot. I don't really mind where I place. My first one, as long as I do the best I can on the weekend, then I'll be happy with it. Strongest attribute, depends on the workout, but I think because of my stature, sort of a bit lighter, so bodyweight stuff, gymnastic stuff I enjoy, but also with weightlifting as well. I've been working on that a lot recently, so the Olympic weightlifting I'm really looking forward to do, especially on the floor with loads of spectators and individuals.
My name is Alex Conroy. I am the creator and founder of Puzzle Programming, and I am the head coach and programmer of CrossFit Container. What made me decide to get into CrossFit was about 7.5 years ago. I'd been playing a lot of rugby, doing a lot of powerlifting training, and I felt things were getting a little bit stagnant, a little bit boring. Things were always just the same old stuff, just over and over again. Found CrossFit through watching the CrossFit Games online, and it was something that just looked really, really appealing. The variety, the breadth of stuff you'd be doing, running, rowing, all of that type of stuff alongside weightlifting and gymnastics, things I never thought I'd be able to do. CrossFit has opened up those doors for me. So I started puzzle programming back in 2021. So it was a lockdown project essentially. I'd been very fortunate to be involved with programming in a previous gym that I'd worked at, and then another opportunity opened up to work for another programming company, and I was really afforded some great opportunities, and it just felt like during lockdown I had plenty of time on my hands. It felt like a great time to try and start something of my own that I could take in a direction that I was really proud of and something that I really wanted to develop. So in terms of the training program that we're doing, a lot of the individuals who I've been working with for a long time prior to this, we've been doing a lot of strength and kind of engine accumulation as well as building up their exposure to gymnastics. But for everybody that we're preparing for, including the teams that we've seen on our training session today, we are doing competition style workouts that require teamwork, workouts that require communication, workouts that require you bending to the pace of somebody else, and that includes maybe pushing yourself that little bit harder than you want to, and equally maybe knowing that you need to slow down to make sure you're not going to drag somebody out of line. And you can see with things like the Wern, it is practice, 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 as well as synchro gymnastics.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, over.
I think the biggest challenge they'll face is just the quality of the field. The UK scene, the European scene is just completely on an exponential growth at the moment. The calibre of competition is huge, and to actually be competing in a stadium filled with as many spectators as there's going to be is going to be something that's new for a lot of these athletes. So we're viewing this as a really, really great opportunity. Puzzle is in its infancy, and a lot of these athletes are in their infancy competitively, so this is a really good first kind of footstep into the door, and this is just going to be the start of a long and happy competitive career for all of these guys, I hope.
Owen Roberts, first in Wales, 8th in the UK and 86th in Europe on the CrossFit website, and the European Championships ranking 7th on the qualifiers, but I've decided to go team for the finals. I've been doing CrossFit now for about 7 years. I started back home in North Wales in a little gym, like a leisure centre gym, and yeah, basically I haven't looked back since then. I decided to cross over to CrossFit from rugby. I played rugby for about 8 to 10 years, and then I saw Rich Froning, Kalipa and all of them by a pool. They looked jacked, and I thought, you know what, I'm playing rugby and basically there's nothing functional I'm doing except for the game, so why don't I try this and see if it transfers over? And then once I did it, I fell in love with the sport then and just never looked back, basically. My favourite experience is going to the CrossFit Games last year and competing as part of a team for CrossFit Aylesbury. It was a bit surreal, you know, getting all the kit and stuff like that, getting your name with like Roberts and stuff on it, and just being like, it was like the Super Bowl or something like that really. It was like unbelievable, overwhelming. And I'd say as well, it was competing with Matt Fraser before COVID at Strength in Depth individually. Meeting Matt Fraser and competing with him was something that you really never kind of get to do, because he's from America, I'm from Wales, and it's a bit like playing golf with like Tiger Woods. It's something that doesn't come along very often, or like in some cases never, so it was a hell of an experience and a good eye-opener. So in preparation for the European Champs, we've done some synchronized stuff, and we've done a lot of chats and stuff backwards and forwards, trying to plan who's going to go synchro, who's going to do what movement and stuff like that, and also run through a couple of the workouts that have been released just to have an idea of how it's going to feel like for the actual day. For all the Welsh athletes that are competing, especially the ones who are doing it for the first time, my advice would be just try and enjoy it, have fun with it, and basically don't put too much pressure on yourself, because you want to enjoy it and you keep doing more competitions in the future. I've done it before where you put too much pressure on yourself at the very start and then you're not enjoying it, so just have fun with it and enjoy it.
Colin Thomas is a Masters athlete preparing heavily, hoping to build on a successful CrossFit season.
Colin Thomas, Master, age group 45 to 49. I've done CrossFit for about 10 years, once a week, just to keep fit really, whilst I was playing rugby and various other sports. It's my second time competing in the European Championships. Last year was my first experience of my first big competition, which I literally only just qualified last year, which I didn't expect to do that well, but I just needed the experience to see what I needed to work on, which was quite a bit. And then this year, I've spent the whole year basically getting better at CrossFit. So hence why I qualified second this year. Everybody does the CrossFit Games. I reached the quarterfinals of the CrossFit Games and ranked 97th in the world in my age group. I also qualified for Strength in Depth in London, which to date is my biggest competition I've qualified for. I competed there and did really well. I came second. Preparation for Tech 22, obviously training has stepped up. I train coming into competitions, I step it up to twice a day, 3 times a week, and once every other day. On the other days then I have 1 rest day. So I do 6 days of training, 3 of them would be twice a day. Hopefully that will prepare me for the European Championships. How do I fancy my chances? Well, I've qualified in second, and then obviously I'm expected to do really well just because of my last competition was about 6 weeks ago in Strength in Depth, and I came second. So that is one of the biggest competitions to do in the UK. So I am expected to at least get second, really. But there's some tough competition, so I'm going to have to work hard to get onto the podium.
My name is Moritz Neumann and I'm an RX athlete in the European Championships. I got into CrossFit about 3.5 years ago, so just at the start of 2019. What got me into CrossFit was how there was a workout for everyone. So no matter what kind of fitness level you were, you could come in, do the same workout, and you would scale it differently. And even if you were really fit or not so fit or just come out from an injury, everyone gets something done basically, and everyone has fun. And the main thing there is progression. I competed last year in the European Championships, so this is my second time. Last year at the European Championships I came 7th, so I made the final and 7th overall, so I think I'd like to try and beat that this year. It's always a hard question, you know, are you going to podium, are you going to win? I think I'll always give my 100% no matter what the event is, and I think because you don't know what the workouts are going to be, it's hard to say, because some workouts you're better at than others. But regardless of what events come my way, I'll give my 100%.
I'm Gemma Hurds and I'm competing in the intermediate category for the Europeans. I started CrossFit when our gym actually opened, so about 2 years ago. This will be my first time competing in the European Championships. I've competed in local competitions around here. We had one here as well a couple of months ago, which was good, but not any bigger ones like the Europeans. I'm most looking forward to probably the atmosphere and actually being given the chance to compete with a lot of people around me. I find I get quite nervous. The biggest highlight for me so far in CrossFit, to be honest, is probably the competition we had here a few months ago. It was just, you knew near enough everyone, and the atmosphere was amazing, and you saw it all come together. And also I got the opportunity to become a coach here, which was amazing. I hadn't even heard of CrossFit when I began 2 years ago, and now I have the opportunity to coach people here, to bring them up to enjoy it as much as I do. My biggest strength when it comes to CrossFit is definitely the cardio side of CrossFit. I had never done any weightlifting before, but I enjoyed running. I was a big swimmer when I was younger, and so yeah, the machines and anything that some people are like, oh no, I don't want to go on a run. I do enjoy them, yeah. How do I fancy my chances? That's a good question. I just want to complete them all to the best I can. I'm qualifying in the top 20 of my category, so I'd like to finish it in the top 20 realistically, and just see how I can compete against these. They're going to be some big athletes there.
How are you feeling, Carwyn?
Good.
Ti'n barod I ennill hon neu beth?
Well, yeah, hopefully, that's the aim. I'm as ready as I ever will be.
Straight onto Trent Boulevard.
The European Championship, 480 successful athletes invited to the live finals across 9 categories: novice, teens, intermediate, masters and RX. The Welsh athletes' preparation has come to this moment.
How are you feeling, Gemma?
Yeah, a bit nervous, but excited. Be good. Nice one.
Do you know what the event is, what the workout is?
I'm not 100% sure. Obviously they've gone with weighted vests, so I don't know if I've got weighted vests, but I think there's some obstacles coming up.
Any thoughts of doing the kayak? Any concerns about it?
I've tried it once in the sea, so I've heard tips from different people throughout the day. Just got to try and stay straight and not tip over. That's the main thing. But no, looking forward to it. It'll be good to do something different.
Coaching team load on that, boy?
Yeah, iawn. Coaches back. Kevin and Brew back at all their stretcher or hapus.
How did you find that, Joe?
Oh, hard. That was, to be honest, a lot harder than I thought it would be. They added the weighted vest, which completely changed the workout. Luckily settled into a pace, and when at the end and we got the bag off, it was just again sticking to a pace. One person passed me, and then again sticking to the same pace, and then the kayak, luckily I was able to get one spot back, and yeah, I'm really happy with the kayak. I didn't think it would go that well, and then that sprint at the end, like I was saying, it's like you were carrying carpets. The lats, horrible, but yeah, I'm chuffed. I think don't know what I've come, but yeah, chuffed.
What was the hardest bit about it?
It was definitely the run, all the run. I think it was a bit longer than what well, not a bit longer, but it was like a K and a half with a weighted vest, and I don't think I've run at all with a weighted vest this year, so that was tricky. I think I had a bit too loose as well, so it was a bit shaky, but it was again just trying to stick to your pace and getting the breathing was the main thing. But yeah, the whole 4K-ish of running was really hard, and the kayak was great. It's fun.
Looking forward for tomorrow?
Yes, I need to recover these quads of mine, they're cramping up, but yeah, can't wait.
Thank you.